Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the harrowing world of Frostpunk 2. The city of New London holds its breath as we are on the precipice of a whiteout. It's currently week 246, and by my estimation, our first temperature drop is going to be at about week 270, and then it seems around week 280, 290, that's when the whiteout's going to kick in. So, we've been obviously trying to prepare for that. At the moment, we have a stockpile of nearly 40,000 oil, gaining 145 a day. Pretty happy about that. Our food stockpile is doing really well, gaining 304 per day, and we're currently up to 122,000. Materials, 62,000 in stockpile, gaining 188. We are lacking goods, though, a negative 29, as we've taken in a lot of population very quickly, and that's really hampering my amount of prefabs because we're trying to keep up with the building and the money situation as well. We've shaken down all of our political entities as best we can. We really just have to wait now to get more over time, or somehow find some through events and things like that. Just to go over some of the icons that you're seeing here, we're getting low on food. So while we have a nice big fat stockpile, we are actually going to run out in 38 weeks here and in 39 weeks here. There is a deep fertile soil deposit underneath this one, and we're currently in the process of researching deep melting drills, which take one core each to be built and to access the, I guess the food deep down, or whatever the resource is. You can build them anywhere. So we'd like to do that there, but we'd also like to, in the material districts here, these two ones, one of them is also capable of having that 200 million resources deep down, or at least harder to get to, so we'd need that deep mine to be able to get to it. The other ones, though, they can go away. Now, there are deposits I haven't yet tapped. There's another material deposit right here, but I don't think there's another food one. I think that would just be that one on its own. So maybe we'd have to go to the Frostland and find some sort of permanent source of external food, because I can't imagine we can live off of one district, but that's what we've promised people. Now, to get back to I was just having a look at this. So our current objective is to research and construct the generator surplus injectors. We've researched it. It's being built right now. We can actually see that the generator is under construction. It looks like it's actually blown up, basically, but it's under construction. But in the meantime, everything's fine. The optional thing was to do the deep melting drill. So we're doing that at the moment, and to actually build one. And then to activate the surplus injector. So I want to complete the optional thing if we can. Just would feel good. We've promised to the pilgrims that we'll research conservative treatment. So we'll have to do that next after this research is done. So I think that's pretty much it. We're pretty much all caught up. We're lacking a little bit of housing. Lacking a little bit of goods. That's what I want to fix. And we left off at the end of the previous episode by just reaching Redemption Way. And I had a quick read of this, and it is fascinating. So strap yourselves in. We've encountered a shipwreck camp with a settlement population of approximately 5,000 people. Broken chains hang from the gunwale of a wrecked prison hulk, founded by escaped convicts, which apparently is good luck, am I right? Who swore... That's a callback to the previous episode. We came across an event that said if you come across escaped convicts, it's considered good luck by some people. I guess that was probably actually the thing for unlocking Redemption Way. Anyways, I digress. It was founded by escaped convicts who swore all residents will be equal. Rival gangs formed over time and now compete for power. Our scouts say the settlement is in chaos, with different laws and practices behind each bulkhead. Until a clear authority reigns, there is nothing we can do with the wreck. Now, we could reinstate old leaders, but we don't currently have enough equality in our city to be able to do that. We've been leaning a little bit more the other way. We could support new leadership if we arm the men at the nearby Baron's Cave. They'll be able to defeat the rival gangs and bring about order. So this one's our equality leaning. This is our order leaning. We could bring these people to New London. Send guards to crush the gangs, demolish the wreck, and bring the innocents back to New London. About 5,000 people would join us. Some of them New Londoners, a little bit more than Frostlanders. That would take away 30 of our guard squads. Crime would go mental back home. And 10 Frostland teams. I ain't about to do that with the whiteout on the horizon. So, for now, we'll come back later. But here is the other interesting part. The Baron's Cave. A wall of whiskey barrels protects the entrance to this cave. Inside, shackled servants sell anything from stolen jackets to sun drugs. Towards the back of the market, is where the servants themselves are bought and sold. Our scouts were handed a message. To whoever rules New London, I rescued each of my servants from certain death in the plague-ridden bilge of the shipwreck camp. Send us the materials to make the weapons, and we can expand to the shipwreck itself. Signed, the Baron. So, if we send 10,000 materials, and 10 of our teams, it says we only stand to profit from such a partnership. We're going to supply him with guns, and he'd go into the town, I guess, probably kill a bunch of people, and then take it over. The dude runs slaves, effectively, right? Shackled servants. He says he's protected them, but they aren't exactly free. The other option we have is to shut it down. Send men directly here to cease Baron's operation and free the servants. Kind of leaning towards that one, right? But again, with the whiteout on the horizon, don't really want to forego guard squads or Frostland teams, and who knows, they might die. Or we could come back later. So I just thought we should read it. I'm going to be a little bit of a tease and say we're not going to do anything because we've got bigger fish to fry. It's too much unknown with that. Once the weather calms down a bit, which, by the way, after the, I guess the whiteout, it seems like it's going to drop again anyway. But, you know, once the whiteout's clear, we can then maybe figure out what to do here. Also, I'm a little rammed for population right now. We've got 3,700 workforce not doing anything. I'm limited by the amount of heat stamps and prefabs I have. I'd love to put them all to work, just don't have the money and the prefabs to do it. The very last thing is to look over at our dreadnought. We're doing fine here. We're gaining coal. We're pulling that in from the Frostland at the moment, so 250 from the abandoned mine. And some of the excess fuel that's made here, oil I should say, is being used in the generator. So again, I don't know how to do anything about that, but it's taking coal and oil, almost in equal parts actually, and so that means that we're still gaining 196 per day, so 14 weeks this place is going to fill up. Which isn't a big deal, we could just turn off the Frostland teams anyway. So these guys are set. They've got 3 oil districts, each of which has been expanded, 2 housing districts, plenty of people, excess food and goods in storage. They're lacking materials, so we'll just send them the materials they need right now. Plus 50. So, here. And we can just about do that before we're starting to kind of reach our bottleneck now. It'd be good to research skyways or whatever so we get more oil back to New London in future. But we're not quite there yet. We just have to, you know, just take a little bit more time. Is that it? We're balanced. By the way, there's a button for balancing. I've clicked it. It doesn't seem to work. So, or at least not to me. It tends to put a surplus in. It doesn't. It tends to have a negative on one and a surplus in the other. I think it's trying to balance so both places have the exact same amount in their stockpiles, rather than balance them like this, where we just don't have any deficit or income. Anyways, all right, let's get out of here. Let's go back to New London. I've got my Baileys, by the way, again today, so we're looking good. I'll be honest, I'm recording this one straight after the last one. It's a different Baileys, though. All right, I think that's it. Oh, very last thing. Sorry to take so long. I read a comment, by the way. Someone said it felt like a filler episode. I feel a bit bad for that. I think I'm just slow and overly cautious, but I like to just play immersively. I'm sorry. Anyways, I get very into this game in particular, so I tend to take my time, but I'm not trying to draw it out. If anything, I should really be speeding up. But it is what it is. Now, on the overworld, I have a little notepad of things I've written down that I want to do. The first one is, I think it'd be wise to take the wise women back. If you remember these, it's a little bit of population, but it's 3 cores. Knowing we need cores now, and having a great relationship with the stalwarts, I think we could afford this, so let's do it. So they're going to come back. Can we actually see? There we go. Oh, it didn't tell me that. I didn't know they were sick. These people have recently left their homes in the Frostland and are now heading to start new life in New London. That was something I was a little worried about with these, because it talked about how they're coughing in Winterhome and it's just considered bad luck, and I was like, well, there's probably some of them that are probably sick. Even if they're not the ones coughing, it just seems like it's probably related. But I'm not going to take them in either right now. We'll just wait. Alright, I think that's pretty much it. So my goal right now is to try to fix the housing problem, try to fix the goods, and just keep advancing our objectives. Let's let time play. One of the first things I wanted to do was build a salvaging factory in this district. That would fix our goods problem. But we're going to need more heat stamps and more prefabs. So we're just waiting, playing the waiting game. We'll speed up time just a little bit. Generator upgrade is done. Right, so that's ticked off the list. I'm not going to activate that heat thing yet. We want to get the melting drill thing done. We'll activate it before the whiteout happens. so that we can say we defeated the Frost. Alright, salvaging factory. Slam it in there. Now, the salvaging factory allows us to make a little bit of prefabs, but also increases the amount of goods that we get, right? We get 40 goods out of it. And the demand is just 20 heat, so it's not that bad at all, especially since we have grouped these all together. I feel like it's not too bad. When the whiteout hits, it'll probably be worse. And coincidentally, that whiteout is hitting right around the time our food runs out over here, so we could just turn off these districts for a little while, as I don't think they're going to be working anyway. I think that's what it said. Food doesn't really work during whiteouts or something. Anything else to do? We've got 15 teams not doing anything right now. I suppose we should still be looking around to see if there's anywhere we can go, but most places seem to have dangerous threat levels. Yeah. And the whiteout, as we can see, is just creeping across the map. I don't know what's going to happen to the Dreadnought when it gets here, because they don't really have nearly as much stored. But also... what? Oh, they're not going to have a whiteout. They're not going to get hit by it. It's not in the timeline. How weird. Right, so they just get that secondary drop that's going to happen later. And here we can actually see the moment the whiteout ends with a little up temperature, but then it just falls again. So I guess it's saying whiteout is over at this point. That's a long time. Okay. Have to figure it out, I guess. Construct buildings. It's flashing, but we didn't unlock anything new, did we? I don't think so. Crime is getting started up again. Minor, but stable. Might be time to build a second watchtower like we talked about before. Yeah. Although housing was something that's probably a bit more important, as temperature is going to drop sooner rather than later. I'll tell you what, we could try and meet in the middle. 1, 2, 3. We could do some expansions. They're cheaper. Doesn't afford us that much housing, but it's something. Alright. It's actually kind of less efficient overall, but it doesn't take any heat, so that's kind of good. So I think it gives us 5 housing each every time we do that expansion. Something like that. So at negative 39, we're getting a little bit of cold now, but it's only a very small amount. Don't really know what's changed that would make this crime rise. Because we're making... oh yeah, we just built a salvaging factory actually, didn't we? So that's fixed the goods. So this should probably go away. Also, can we mobilize? Oh, we can. That's going to be a great help. We're just about staying on top. As long as we keep those guys happy, we're always able to kind of get rid of crime. Now, those old women have joined us, so we got the 4 cores. And I don't see anyone sick, actually, so that's good. Wish I could look at those notifications because I missed it, but that was us getting the drill thing active, right? Or, sorry, not the drill, but the deep mine things. Bloody stalwarts, always on patrol. You're damn right, Victoria Kelly. Right, so now... we have extraction, the deep melting drill, 80 heat stamps. We'll throw one in, and that'll complete that objective for us. Then we'll activate the injectors. So yeah, we'll have that heat stamps in just a couple of days. Little disease creeping in. Get rid of crime. Disease comes up. Get rid of disease. Something else will probably come up, but... we're getting a little bit better with the shelter problem. Let's see what this is. Stalwarts rallies raise funds for actuated heat dispatcher. Interesting. An actuated heat dispatcher. So, Steward, the Stalwarts have extended their activities into a new district. They've erected a stage near the hub and hold periodic rallies here as well. During their most recent event, the speeches focused on the need to construct an actuated heat dispatcher in this district. We know how to build it, got a spot for it, and we know certain that we're going to need it, so let's get it done, their spokesman urged. And they collected donations to fund this construction and signed up volunteers who pledged to work in the building during their spare time. Do you wish to let its construction begin? Relations slightly improve with all communities. We accept the Stalwart's kind donation and will start construction at once. An actuated heat dispatcher will be constructed in this high-rise housing district at no heat stamps cost to the city. I gotta be honest, I can't remember... oh, there we go. It says 200 workforce requirements. Squalor is slightly increased, and it gives us 40 heat demand. Well, I say it gives us 40 heat demand. It's blue, so does it... I assume that gives us heat, rather than takes it away. So it's no heat stamp cost. They did say they get volunteers. I guess that is still workforce. Yeah, sure, we've got plenty of workforce. So I don't know why I'm taking so long with this. But yeah, actuated heat dispatcher, let's go. A little bit of squalor, but I can handle it. Let me look at the building now, just relative to other ones. Actuated heat dispatcher. Heat dispatching control center, where engineering teams use automated actuators to tune up district heating, boosting the generator's output. Alright, well, it was free. Wonder could I dismantle it and get stuff back? Or would they be pissed if I did that? We have the heat stamps we need, so let's build our first drill deep mine thing. I'm gonna do it on food. Deep melting drill, 40 prefabs. Alright, damn. 36 per week. Alright, we have to wait another 3 days. It's usually on the second day of the week that you get your income. Bizarrely, but that's usually what happens. There we go. Alright. Deep melting drill. 1 core. Slam it in. That's interesting. Even just hovering over it shows you where they could go. Those are our infinite deposits. We've just got 3. So we've got enough cores to build all of them. Right now. Promoting progress. They're happy with that. Research conservative treatment. Oh yes. We'll need heat stamps for that. Let's see if we can do it cheaply. Society. Treatment. Nice, it's only 50. We agreed with these that we do it. Disease is decreased. These guys want experimental treatment. No. Doctors should always look to develop and put into practice cutting-edge pioneering treatments. A little too hardcore for me. Let's just figure out, you know, doctors must abide by the traditional oath of first do no harm. To avoid errors, every procedure must be first approved by senior physicians. So lower disease, which is perfect. 8 weeks. Couldn't have timed it any better. Material still gaining. We're actually almost full on fuel again, or food. I would have to build another storage thing, but I just don't think I've got any room for one. I'd rather build a new district somewhere over here for food, and then put another one of these in between both. That way we could have a district here, a district there, hub in between. That'd be nice. We just went into the negative for materials. What the hell happened? Ah, we ran out. That's okay. That's the infinite one, actually, so we're not going to delete that district. Yeah, we need to build another one somewhere over there. Could start frost breaking, actually. We need more money. The music is so overpoweringly loud, I can't even hear the speaker guy. It just randomly ramps up, like... I've turned it down twice now in the game. But then it goes really quiet and I want to hear it other times. Alright, that's done. I'm sorry, I was paused longer than I thought I was there. Alright, nice. Cool. Good job. Infinite source of food. And we're making 252... Wow, that's actually so much more than I thought. Is that... How much do you get from the... Interesting. So it doesn't actually make any material itself, like food or whatever. I guess it just goes on any resource. And it's still the district that determines the output. Okay. You can actually make quite a lot then. That's good. I just didn't think I'd be making much at all. What's this? Excessive fertilization. Food production efficiency is extremely increased. Oh. That's 252. This is 299. All right. Maybe we were getting a bit more out of this one. Oh, well, there's 2 hothouses. Yeah, yeah. All right. Activate surplus injectors. Let's do it. So on the generator tab, surplus injectors. I'll let time play. Activate. Survive the whiteout. The warmth our upgraded generator now pumps through the veins of the city is unprecedented. People take off their layers. Take off their layers. Testing the air with bare skin in disbelief. The dream of feeling warm again is real. Unless the frost tests us again. I would say once more to break up the writing on that one. Anyway, we must survive. Survive the incoming whiteout. So what does this do? We're making 745 heat. Seems excessive. Oh, but it boosts everything, doesn't it? Isn't that what it said? It says off, though. Okay, now it's off. And now we're not making enough heat? How could that be the case? We're gaining oil. That can't be right, surely. It's a little bit of demand that we're not hitting. Overdrive? Well, that's definitely not right. Well, I say definitely. I'm pretty sure if we're storing oil, that must mean that that's somewhat wrong. Okay. Maybe I might need to reload. Is it to do with the fact that we're missing some housing? Maybe. I don't think so, though. Anyway, we still need to get more housing. We have more money now and more prefabs, so... Alright, well, anyways, sorry for taking so long. Things are looking good. We're still positive on most things. We have just maxed out food. I don't have what it takes to build another food district right now, so we'll just lower this down. I'm turning off the ones with hot houses in them if I can. Because those are the ones that are providing disease. Now, I guess I could just turn this on and wind it down. That's a plus 10. Let's just eat into our food supply just a little bit. See how we get on. So now we're in the negative for a few things. Alright, we have the prefabs we need. Let's build that housing district. So, 1, 2... We can only get 2 on them, which is such a shame. We'd have to expand further. 3, 4... So we get 1 bonus there. We could do that expansion, though, if we frost break. I'm gonna frost break there, just so I remember to do that. 1, 2, 3... Because it would be good to get that expansion in. And then, yeah, we'll have very, very, very little missing housing. How are we for population? We actually might grow. Yeah, we might grow one more time before the storm hits, actually, which could be really bad. These guys are okay, and they've maxed out their coal supply. 60,000 coal just stored here now. Alright, so that leaves us with, I don't know. We could turn this off now. We don't need it. I've got 55 Frostland teams, but everything is basically dangerous, I think. Oh, here we go. 20 into the Steam Valley. Hot water flows from deep crevices around here, forming small ponds surrounded by green moss. Oh, it doesn't say you might find anything, but surely that means food. Ah, and we've got the Purification Pass. Our scouts swear these beasts grow thicker coats every year, adapting to the frost. In a few years, they might be able to survive even a whiteout without care. An outpost here could increase our food supply by 90 food until its deposit of 77,000 is depleted. Yeah, I mean, just harvest. Sure. You could just turn it off to get those guys back. So we'll just get that ready for the future. That's crazy, but okay. A ghost town. All signs indicate this settlement was habited until recently. Strangely, the larder was empty, but most clothing and personal items were left behind. There are some bloodstains in the snow, but no bodies were found. One scout found a salvageable core beneath the hearth of the town hall, earning herself extra rations. The buildings themselves contain useful components too, if we can spare the men to dismantle them. Take only the core, take everything. I need the prefabs, actually. And it's 30 Frostland teams. Send extra scouts to take the core and dismantle the whole town. A ghost town. Sure, right? Why not? Why not? 500 prefabs, 1 core. The speed. Look at that. The speed they move at. I guess it is like days and days going by, but still. Alright, great. Pilgrims' demands have been met. That was the research that we did for them. Relations with pilgrims improve. Trust rises. They now look upon your rule more positively and consider you a leader with integrity. Not really. They still hate my guts, but it's something, at least. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was better up until a moment ago. Probably the way we powered the generator has pissed them off. But whatever. So, that's a new law that we can pass, right? Conservative treatment. Disease is decreased. A lot of people voting against it. Maybe we can negotiate with our stalwart brethren and say maybe back off. Oh, actually, it's just going to be against their worldview. But the Frostlanders are open to negotiate. They're mostly hesitant. 42 of them. Okay. Vote for the Frostlanders. So, a building, a moss filtration tower, is what they want us to research or construct a building, a survivalist headquarters. I don't mind doing that. Or research and hold a vote. The law, Pathfinder Scouts. We'll select the fittest candidates and train them in elite territorial skills so they can remain adaptable. Territory threat level decreased. Yeah. Sure, that one, right? I think. Pathfinder Scouts. 51, law supported. That'll pass then. Sure. We'll give it a go. Can't remember what the alternative was, or if we have an alternative in place right now.
The proposed law has been approved.
Awesome. Okay. Good. Promoting tradition, they're a little happier with us. Waiting on our resource transfer. Once we get the prefabs in, we'll build more houses, I think. I think that's what we need.
The delegates have reached a decision. A new law...
Without innovative medical practices, we cannot move forwards, says Jonathan Daniels. What do we got? Ollie Sharp, 27, an entrepreneur, sweeping the stairs of his shop. My first shop, mine, that I earned off the sweat from my own back. I put my nose to the grindstone. I stayed focused, and I was rewarded. This city is slowly proving to be a haven for merit and hard work. Next, I'll buy out the shop around the corner. I'll expand. There'll be an Ollie's outlet at every corner. Mark my words. I'll show them my worth, and I'll charge them accordingly. Said he's made steps towards merit cornerstone. Why does it always have to go to the extremes, you know? Why can't it just be somewhere nice in the middle? You don't have to take over the entire streets, man. Just have your own little shop. Be happy with it. Yeah, we all just get along. You don't have to, doesn't have to be at the expense of someone else. Anyway, I'm not following anyone down this path. I refuse. That's a stalwart saying that. Is that right? Oh yeah, because of what we just passed. Hey, we got our prefabs. Let's roll. Housing district. So I said I was going to expand that one. That's why we did the frost breaking. Let's just do that super quick. There we go. And we're still lacking housing, so I was going to link up these two areas with more housing, or we could just push somewhere out this way. Just trying to see what would make the most sense. I guess here would probably make more sense. So let's do that then. It's only 20 extra heat. Feels like it's really not that worth it. I'm gonna frost break here and we'll put a housing district in between. It'll take a little longer, but it'll be worth it once we get it. Man, that music was loud. Stockpile 58,000 oil. Pretty good, right? I think so. These guys are totally fine. They're eating into their coal a little bit since we took it away from them. We have our teams available again. Nothing bad happened by dismantling the ghost town, by the way. The barren plains. I didn't even look at this. Alright, I'll try to read it quicker. Judging from the remains, dozens of vehicles were manned and loaded here. Our scouts found some maps in a half-buried crate, each marked with the possible locations of other generator cities. One annotated with thick letters, Rowett knows. They left with such enthusiasm that many tools and scrap pieces were left behind to be buried by snow and time. Gather the scrap. 50,000 material stockpiler. Come back later. Wow, again, that's a huge amount. We don't need it. We can't even handle it, so, okay. More food. Wow, am I just doing really well or something? Or is this game easier or what? Or is it just because I'm so slow? Because it's like, wow, there's so much stuff out here. This is great. I need to find a stack of prefabs and heat stamps. I know you can't find heat stamps like our currency, but something like that. Then we can just build. Because we have so many workers that aren't doing anything. Anyway, a row of hunters' hangars breaks the flat white landscape. Once the workers gathered food for a great expedition, now we may gather food to feed our great city. Fast forward to me just crying when the whiteout hits. Yeah, I'll just say again, harvest and just turn it off. We'll get it later. This one, the Lovers. A pair of automatons lie broken in the snow. Their tracks show they lost their navigational bearings and followed each other in a circle until they broke down. The scouts make their story sound almost romantic. We can either take their cores or repair the automatons to work in New London. Oh, sorry, didn't we have to do that somewhere else and I just completely forgot about it? 800 workforce is what we gain if we spend 150 prefabs or take the cores. I'll come back later. I just have to look over here for a minute because I'm pretty sure we came across that event somewhere over here. Ah. Repair them or take the cores. We didn't have enough workforce at the time, but it's covered in a whiteout right now. So I can't really look into it, but I'm sure it's the same situation, right? Probably. Oh, wow. Dead and Crags. Oh my god, there's so many things. The Rowett Expedition. We just read about this. A transport lies in pieces. Frozen corpses scattered around unburied. Our scouts found a journal amongst the carnage. After the bloodshed, weeks back, he's only got matter. He speaks of splitting atoms, setting the air on fire, ending the frost. He's declared this a one-way journey and hanged the men who argued. Not waiting for the same. A fishing spot, more food again. I'll just harvest and turn it off. And here we are, the Rowett Expedition. Such a... well, not coincidence, I guess. It's probably meant to be found similarly quickly to each other, but still. A pair of broken down transports are flanked by unmarked graves. Neither damage nor death were the result of natural causes. If repaired, the transports could be useful for future expeditions. Then again, their cores could be useful too. Exploration time is extremely decreased. I don't think I'm lacking time. Again, 2 cores. Everything then is just going to be threat level dangerous. We have 10 here. Let's go out there. Might as well go east. There is so much stuff waiting for us, you know, just around the Frostland now. But we've kind of hit up against... oh, here's another one. Mountains 20. Group of wounded travelers reported that huge bears the size of houses roam these wastes. No one knows if they indeed attacked by bears or made up a story to get a bit more soup from the cookhouse. Let's go figure that out. I'm still... oh, I guess we have to go to the mountains. We want to find that hot spring, and that's in Steam Valley. Yep. Alright, time is playing again. How's the situation's looking a bit better? Expando, please. And we've got more money and prefabs now to put people to work. We've got 5,500 workforce not doing anything. See, that scares me for a few reasons. Well, actually, extra workforce isn't too bad if this rally goes away, because we lose some of it, I think. But it scares me having people not doing anything, because it means that you're losing somewhere, right? You're being inefficient, you're not making what you need to sustain yourself, all those kind of problems. Let's turn this back on until we build that back up to be full. I guess another district hub might be the right thing. Now, do you get a double, another further 10 negative? Is that even possible? Or do we just go with a straight up new food district? That costs us heat. Doing something, but I think housing's more important. Because it looks like we're probably going to grow during the whiteout. Or right before. Right, so I had said that we'd build a new one out here. So 1, 2, 3. Let's try this then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's a double heat bonus. Might be time to spend some of these... actually, we don't have many materials anymore. Because we ran out. Could build one of those deep mine things, though, and that would get this started again. Deep melting drill. Stick it in there. What do you got? By your leave, a supply run. Steward, the Pilgrims have decided to send their strongest travelers out before the whiteout to search the surrounding area for supplies. With their parkas as their shield, they intend to walk the Frostland unscathed, united under one tent and guided by their prophet's visions. They don't appear to be asking. Supply their journey, 10,000 food. Send them with food and our blessing, or let them leave. Can't spare the supplies, but let them leave. Or stop them. I'm gonna give them the food. We've hit our limit anyway. Go. Maybe they'll like me more. 124 pilgrims left. That wasn't that many. 10,000 food for 124 of you? It's kind of ridiculous, actually. I thought they were all gonna leave. Alright, well, this is maxed out again. We're still gaining 63. It's gonna be filled in 26 weeks. That's fine. Turn this back on then.
You are not a test subject. If your doctor prescribes a novel treatment, report them at once.
So the deep melting drill should help the stalwarts be happy again before the rallies wear off. I'm hoping. If not, maybe we'll give them a gift. And this one is just about to run out. 2 days remaining. And that one's done. There's no expanding that one. So that's offline now. So that's a negative 266. That's why I wanted to get that drill in. So I'm happy that's in now. This could also be expanded maybe, just to get a little bit more. Heat demand has increased. Negative 40 degrees. We've been here before. It's not that bad. I'll grant you an agenda. Maybe they'll try pass that bill again. Oh, it's still not enough. Interesting. We might lose our rallies. I don't think it's the worst thing. I don't want to bend over backwards completely for it all the time. I'm trying to think what could I build that they would like. I don't know. The watchtowers are for the pilgrims, actually. Alright, we've caught up with the housing demands for now, but it's only going to go into the negative when we hit our next population milestone. We are bleeding materials quite a bit. I'm just wondering what I should do with this district. No reason to do anything with it now. It's offline anyway, but I'll have to make a choice soon. Speaking of making choices, we do have our research tree. Scouts training. This is what we promised the Pathfinders. Or sorry, the Pilgrims. So let's go with that. Territory threat level is decreased. They want mechanized scouts. Sorry guys. Yeah, they're going to be a bit annoyed for a while. Oh well. We could give them money. Well, not really. I guess we don't really have any. Yeah. I don't know. I think they'll just have to put up with it. I'm sad to see the rallies going away though, because obviously it takes a long time for a second one to appear. So if you can sustain them, man, that'd be, well, would be nice. Maintenance duty. Ah, so this is what they have floored, right? Material demand is slightly decreased. Production efficiency is increased. I do want this to go through now. I can't negotiate with the stalwarts. There's no point. They're the ones flooring it. So I'll just vote on it. Let them vote, I mean. Because, yeah, I can't tilt it either way. Well, I could, but it wouldn't matter. Hey, they passed. Good. I wanted it to go through this time. Hey, oh, nailed it. Nailed it. I didn't think it, so I'm not the one who passed it. I just let them vote. I didn't think them getting a law through would make them happier with me, although I guess I could see maybe why, but I'm surprised about that. I didn't think that's how it worked. I thought I had to,
A new rule enters into force.
You know, guarantee it would go through and then deliver on that for them to be happy. Otherwise, it's the council, you know? It's the other people who voted, not really me. It's democracy. But hey, I'm not going to complain. We kept our rally going. We filled up on food yet again. Ooh, I just thought of something I could do with that food. Instead of letting it hit its cap, just immediately transfer some over, right? I can only do 5,000. Oh yeah, they've barely got any storage for food. That's interesting. What do they have for this? That's okay too. Alright, just transfer some food over. That allows us just to keep going, keep building, and send it somewhere at least for a bit. Hope those pilgrims out there are doing okay. Alright, speed of time. I'm so goddamn slow that the whiteout is still not here yet. And, yep. New housing district. I think it's time. Now, I'd like to expand this one first. 1, 2, 3. And we'll frost break over to that material. And maybe a housing district could go in here, because being next to this is good, but unfortunately, the way I've built it, we're not going to get any bonus from being next to this one. Oh, you know, I really should have left a spot in between. Damn. So 2 districts would be hot if I did that. That's alright. That's not too bad. But it costs 25 materials. The other area is in here. Another 2 districts. Could be potentially 3 if I expand a certain way. Not really. Okay, I'll go with 1 there. So plus 40 heat for these guys. Although they already have a shelter, whereas these ones don't. So let's do these first, sorry. So again, there, 2 districts, extra heat. Let's go. So this place is 60 heat demand. Wow, that's actually a lot. 20 heat demand there. This was 20. And that was 20. Wow, how is this one so bad? Oh, is it because of the buildings we have? 40 from the housing, 20 from the teaching hospital. They have a stable crevice near a housing district and housing installation. Okay. Just want to make sure. So, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a tough one, actually. You'll have to expand into it to get the buff for both areas. But okay, just go there. Might look a bit weird off on its own. Population increased. Consuming more food. 3,500 more people live with us. Again, food or shelter is just immediately fallen. But we're positive on goods, positive on materials. I want to check something. Do we have more people over here now? No. Okay, I was just making sure. Now we're about to get our research. Pathfinder scouts. That should make these guys happy. Relations with Frostlanders improve and trust rises. These guys are also happy. Right, with the money we have, again, I'm thinking maybe we try to get more bang for our buck with the oil that we have. Generator upgrade 3. It's a bit too far down the line. Hyperdrive regulator. Sounds pretty cool. Coal liquefactors. Start turning that coal into oil. Sure, let's do this. Skyways. It's the same for all. Can't piss anyone off. We'll even say it for the pilgrims, even though I don't think it makes a difference. A network of cables connecting elevated stations will allow us to run suspended trains in the Frostland without having to worry about ice and snow accumulation. You'd think ice would still accumulate, but okay. 50 heat stamps, not too bad. Good to get. And then we can improve our trails with skyways. And then we can transfer more, I think, between areas. I think that's how it works. The capacity. The reason I think that is because the trails here says basic quality trade route allows shipping 250 units of any resource. Yeah. Oh my god, it's here. It's so close. Jesus. It's the calm before the storm, I guess. Housing's been built. Heating's been built on these houses. That would be good to add in another housing district around this. The whiteout ends the rallies anyway. Right, we need another housing district ASAP. That's a bunch of heat. Open the door, please let me in. Oh my god, could you imagine? Oh, there's like no one there. That's awesome. So cool. Everyone's just inside. We've got no music though. I don't know if that's normal or not. I like that there's a vote happening right now as well. I'm just going to save it momentarily because I feel like... Oh no, music's coming in. It's coming in good. Just bear with me 1 second. Sorry, it's so funny that the open the door thing came up because my cat was also scratching at the door to get out. Alright, so here we are then, 692. But this is what we invested in this thing for, right? We can now, I think, turn on the surplus injectors. And it does nothing. Well, it has done something. I'm just a bit confused by it. The heat demand was being met either way, so what is that doing? I don't know. But we've met our heat demand. We just need to get that extra housing done. Got good money coming in now, actually. I just got a tooltip about squalor. Extremely increased by the generator? Okay. Increased by the deep mining drills and the actuated heat dispatcher. I feel like we're building slower because of the whiteout, but there we go. Only negative 17 now. Not too bad. But we would like to expand this if possibly. That's cool. You don't have to expand when you're expanding a district in a line. You can do it in bits. I'm leaving that there for something in the future, maybe. I don't know if it'll be good or not, but we'll see. Now, part of me is thinking like, okay, we're eating our food. It'll last us 63 weeks. The coal is going to last us simply just 9. Jeez. This is consuming 260. Let's turn that off. I thought they were going to go off automatically. Guess not. Let's try to calm that down a bit. So anything that's consuming major amounts of heat. Now, that's 32 weeks of food. That's better. And this is now saying 12 weeks. Let's turn on that generator because it did seem to do something when I did overdrive. Okay, 24 weeks. That's better. That's enough oil to keep us going for a bit. What else could we turn off? The heat demand has just gone insane on some of these. I guess the materials districts don't need to be up and running anymore. Because we stockpiled so much of that. So now we've got 20 weeks of materials. We have 32 weeks of food. And 28 weeks of oil. Anything else I can get rid of? What about this one? Turn that off. I don't mind running out of materials. Because that'll be fine. We could just reactivate that later. Alright, so the Frostland is still operable. I'm used to old Frostpunk where, you know, you have a whiteout, that's it. A storm hits and nothing's happening up here. But it seems to be localized to this area. The Dreadnought's actually okay, as we saw. Now, they've got a stockpile, right? They're good for 45 weeks. I'm not worried about that. Their materials, though, on the other hand, is not looking good. They're at negative 130. Now, it says 150. Insufficient resources to fulfill requested transfer. Oh, you can't do that because you're eating into your stockpile. Can't you just pull from the stockpile? I don't know. I thought you could. Anyway, I guess not. So materials, that's going to cause squalor happening here. That's pretty rough. Hang on, I'm just going to save it back out and reload because I just feel like things are acting weird. Alright, we're back. Sounds a bit better now. The howling wind can be heard. Wasn't really there before. Also, I feel like the lighting just looks like way better as well. New Frostland upgrade proposed by the Pilgrims, the Skyways. Right, let me check over some things then. The overdrive is on, but the surplus injectors are off. If we turn that on... I really don't understand that, because nothing is changing. I know that when there's no storm, you get a benefit to resources, but I would have thought it would do something with our stockpile. But I guess either way, we are just meeting the heat demand that we need to. So, okay. Alright, a vote on this scout training for Pathfinder scouts. People are divided. Territory threat level is decreased. Oh. Frostlanders are open to negotiation. We need to get them on our side. I don't know why they wouldn't be for this. I'm not going to make a promise. I'm just going to let them vote. And we'll see what happens. Come on.
The delegates have spoken. The law is tabled.
Alright, we'll try again in 10 weeks. It's just nothing you can see here. People are working overtime, so how are we doing for 24 weeks to go? The whiteout seems to end on week 320, which is 28 weeks from now. Okay, so we have to turn off something else then. Most things are off right now, though. Guess we could stop manufacturing so many goods. That's bought us almost enough time. If it gets really down to the wire, we can always disable 1 or 2 more things. Now, with the skyways being able to be built, we could send more oil to New London, which would be important. So skyway construction, 10 teams, 50 heat stamps, and 20 prefabs. 600 units of any resource can be made. Let's start here. Yeah, I can't get in there. Okay, well, damn. That makes sense, but yeah. I thought we could at least build a trail, even if it couldn't be operated. I don't really know what to do now, other than just wait. I like to look at this one. So we're in the resource tab, and just above worker shifts is waste heat conversion, heat recycling, or heat overclocking. Production efficiency is increased. No. Again, we'll go with the pilgrims on this one. Only 8 weeks, and heat demand in housing districts is decreased. We'll redirect excess heat from industrial machines to neighboring districts and infrastructure, increasing the heat available to the city. Love it. We need to lower that oil down just to buy us a little bit more time. We're getting just a bit too close for my liking. Got an event. Let's see what's going on. Those left behind, the Whiteout steward. Over the howling winds of the Whiteout, the pilgrims have accused the stalwarts of indoctrinating pilgrim children into their youth program. The picture is actually awesome. Since the other pilgrims left, kids began leaving for the stalwarts in droves. Pilgrims assert that the stalwarts are trying to swear the children into their ranks before pilgrim mentors return. But the stalwarts maintain that these children have been abandoned, left adrift with no role models to guide them. I lost my daughter last winter, one stalwart says. When I spoke with Abigail, well, it was like talking to my little girl again. What should we do? Punish the stalwarts, or there was no ill intent. I'll not punish altruism. These children had been abandoned. I agree with that. If you're going to leave your children behind, you can't give that to these guys for looking after them, right? How bad? It's not that bad. I mean, yeah, sorry. Don't leave. I didn't know you're leaving your kids behind. It's completely different. That completely turns that event on its head, really. 23 weeks. Expanded logistics have been damaged from squalor. Uh-oh. Prepare that district for 50-odd prefabs, please. Suppose we do still have time out here to look into other things. So, what do we got? The Steam Valley. Oh my god. Many small mounds under a cliff attracted our scouts' attention. They discovered hundreds of infant skeletons. A track from the top of the cliff leads to the hot springs. We can only assume they have their reasons for doing this. Perhaps we can offer to take any children the hot springs cannot support to New London. Population growth is marginally increased, but a percentage of active workers is slightly decreased. Even if they are a burden on New London, we'll take care of the children. Yes. Let's do it. We can handle it. Now, hot springs. The settlement population, approximately 3,500 people. These hard people... Oh, I should have actually not answered that before I looked at this. They believe they can cure any ailment with the natural spring. Their simple hothouses and subterranean housing are barely enough to support their population, so their culture ensures nothing is wasted and no weakness is tolerated. They're skeptical about outsiders, but perhaps we can convince or force them to allow our sick to heal at the natural spring. If we have access and a trail to the hot springs, we can reduce disease. The hot springs people say they will give us access if we rebuild the loading station at High Pass and their mushroom experiments somewhere else in Endless Plains. Yeah, okay. Access to the natural spring will greatly reduce disease, but you need 30 guard squads here? No. I can't do that now. What's with everyone demanding so many guard squads? Breakdown point. From the sides of the abandoned workshop, wooden scaffolding and support structures, our scouts believe a dreadnought was serviced here for several months. Around the workshop, they found the remains of training equipment, targets, bows, rifles, and compasses. All used and repaired, and again, to the point of shattering. A small graveyard stood to the side, near a crude sculpture of a man covered in eels. Its plinth reads, "Those who stay are lost, but those who move on will be found. Salvage the remains for some prefabs or come back later." Yeah, like... Alright, we're back. Week 298. We've got 21 weeks remaining. We're currently researching the heat recycling. I don't know if it has to be passed via law or not. I can't remember. I feel like it just activates. And I really don't think there's anything for me to do. We're just watching all of our stockpiles bleed out. I'm gaining a great amount of heat stamps and prefabs in the background.
The WHITEOUT has been upgraded to Class 4. Wind speeds are expected to reach 150 knots.
Jesus. 150 knots. The whiteout has been upgraded in classification. Let's do some frost breaking. Can they do that? Actually, they can. Alright. Let's get those materials ready to go. And might do a similar one out here. And while we have the workforce again, let's actually I don't need to frost break out that way, but for more population it might be a good idea to start connecting up these areas. There were some things in the idea tree for extra housing as well. I can't imagine frost breaking in this weather. It just does not seem like you should be able to do that. It gradually damages districts and creates disease. Alright, I can handle the damage. Now, heat recycling placed on the council agenda. We need that to pass. Yes, 431 against. That's crazy. Who would be against it? Well, I know who, I guess. Frostlanders, what do you want? They're playing me like a fool. Playing me for a fool. Playing me like a fiddle. Build a survivalist headquarters. I was gonna do that anyway, so yes. Let's just agree to that one. Don't really care about the other two. Not gonna be building another biowaste hothouse, so let's do that. 52. Let's vote. Let's get that heat level down. Can't believe it's even a debate. There's a whiteout raging outside our windows right now. And the politics of it all could mean certain death, but look at that. We've just lowered it by another 50 or so. That's bought us significant time. We'll have a surplus even after the whiteout ends. Good. Nothing goes to waste. We can even reuse smog. We'll have to breathe filthy air inside our homes. Not really. Build a survivalist headquarters building. We could do that right now, I think. There we go. Popping it in our logistics district. When's that population climbing again? Our population remains stable. We've stagnated. Extremely decreased by the whiteout. Yeah, that makes sense. What the hell just happened there? Unmet requirements. Oh, right. We've run out of materials. Oh, yeah. Okay, things are getting a little rough then, I guess. Good news is we've lots of food, but we'd have to activate some of these districts again. We're on week 304. We need to survive to week 16 weeks. So that's okay. Alright, now we're at 164. Okay, a little bit better. We're lacking in multiple things, but not overall destroying ourselves, and we've enough to last us just to the end. So Squall is going to climb. Crime is going to also climb a little bit, although we could maybe mobilize more enforcers again. So that's going to help. Just slow it down a little bit. Nice to see that I've actually had to panic a little bit. The Frostlanders' demand has been met. The Frostlanders are delighted you kept your word. Good. That's for building the building in there, by the way. Come on, man. Let it pass. It's almost over. And then we can let the oil flow properly again. Although the temperature will drop to, I'm guessing, I don't know, negative 40, maybe? Might be negative 50. Right now we're on negative 100. I don't think there's anything else for me to do. I suppose research. But I'll think about it between episodes and we'll just pick one. I know one we could get. Housing. There was, inside the city, the housing block. So we could go subsidized housing block, dense housing blocks, or just standard. So dense or subsidized. Disease is slightly increased. I'm going to go with the stalwarts on this one again. This one costs us heat stamps. Don't want to do that. Yeah. Constructed in food, extraction, industrial. So it gives us an extra thing. I don't even really care about this. I care about going further down that chain because it says that there's, you know, 2 different types of shelter or something that's going to lead to. So I want to know. Alright, it's almost over. 13 weeks to go for oil. We're lacking 106 materials. We're lacking 88 goods. This is causing crime to rise and squalor to be notable. But things could be worse. I think on the whole, things are okay. Nobody's dying or freezing to death, and that's the important thing. Housing district damage from squalor. Generator overdrive at a dangerous level. Oh yeah. I may have forgotten that we were doing that. 81%? We're okay. Keep it going. Actually, it has a risk of accident. It's not just about blowing up at the top. Let's turn that down a bit. Allows the generator to burn all excess fuel to increase the output of all districts. Shit. We have to throttle it. I don't like that it's just after saving the game on me. Sorry, my recording cut out again, but we're gonna throttle it. Overdrive is on, we're at 83%. Times 2 speed. If it gets damaged, it gets damaged. Now, there was a housing district that took damage somewhere. Where the hell is that? This one. Come on, man. Just a couple more weeks. Couple more weeks. We're almost there. Can feel it. Can taste it. Oh my god, 93%. The audio of the game can barely even handle what's happening right now. Overdrive at maximum. Malfunction risk. Turn it off. Turn it off. Bring it down. God damn it. Woo! All negative effects are removed and the storm leaves. We survived. That storm is going to continue blowing across the Frostland, though. And we're still at risk of damaging the generator while it cools down. The whiteout, still a threat. Chapter 3. Ice turns to steam as the whiteout wanes, but it's clear that we are far from keeping New London warm forever. The whiteouts are not gone. What will we do if the horrors of the whiteout years return? Asked the stalwarts. If we want to withstand them without fear, we must improve the generator even more. And that will require a great deal of cores, dozens. We only know of one site with so many cores, the metal roots of Winterhome's ruined generator. Our current generator would not be enough. We need to colonize Winterhome to get more cores to upgrade the generator further. This is fucking awesome. I've just gone through another save cycle. Chapter 3, The Return to Winterhome. I need to do some reading on Winterhome lore. Colonize Winterhome. Past the gorge in the Cursed Valley lies the failed city of Winterhome. Our scouts have avoided the ruins for years, yet without its cores we cannot upgrade the generator to its full potential. We must reach for Winterhome and chart the area around it. We should take time to prepare our resources and workforce. Returning to Winterhome will pose significant challenges. The good thing is I have too much workforce, so if I can offload them somewhere else, that'd be great. Oh, alright. This is stressful. It's over. We now have to just settle and fix our economy. At least the oil is gaining again. We can reactivate a lot of our districts. We'll get to all that in the next episode. That's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for watching, as always. Do appreciate it. Make sure you like the video if you still continue liking the series, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one.